It started subtly, like a quiet change in the weather. It started subtly, like a quiet change in the weather. My wife Sarah and I had been married for 8 years. We had our rhythm, our inside jokes, our shared dreams. But then he entered the picture. His name was Mark, a new colleague at her firm. At first, I didn't think much of it. She'd come home buzzing with stories about their new project, about his witty remarks and his brilliant ideas. I was happy for her, genuinely. It's good to have work friends, people who get that part of your life. The first shift I noticed was her phone. It was always with her, screen down, buzzing at all hours. When I'd ask who it was, she'd wave it off with a casual, "Oh, just Mark. Work stuff." But the work stuff started bleeding into our weekends, our date nights. I'd be telling her about my day, and I could see her mind was somewhere else, her fingers itching to reply to a message that had just popped up. The physical distance between us on the couch seemed to grow wider each evening. Then came the emotional distance, and that's what really hurt. I remember one evening I planned a surprise dinner, her favorite meal. I lit candles, put on the music we danced to at our wedding. When she came home, she barely noticed. She gave me a quick peck on the cheek, her eyes already scanning her phone. "Mark had the craziest day," she said, launching into a story about his office drama. I felt invisible. I was no longer her confidant, her partner in crime. I had been demoted. Mark was now the one who got the unfiltered, animated version of her. I got the leftovers. I tried to talk to her about it, sat her down and said, "Sarah, I feel like we're drifting apart. I feel like this friendship with Mark is becoming more than just a friendship." She got defensive immediately. "You're being paranoid," she said. "Can't I have a friend? You don't trust me." Her words were like walls, and I couldn't seem to break through. She made me feel like I was the one with the problem, that my feelings of neglect and loneliness were just insecurity. It was classic gaslighting, but at the time I just felt confused and hurt. The worst part was watching the connection between them grow stronger while ours withered. She started quoting him, adopting his phrases, laughing at memories I wasn't a part of. She dressed up for work with a little more care, a little more excitement than she ever did for our nights out. An emotional affair is insidious. There's no smoking gun, no lipstick on a collar. It's a slow erosion of intimacy, a quiet transfer of affection from one person to another. It's death by 1,000 paper cuts. I found out the full extent of it when I saw her phone unlocked one morning. I know I shouldn't have looked, but I was desperate. The messages confirmed my worst fears. "I wish I was with you instead," one of hers read. "You're the only one who really gets me," said another. There were no explicit plans to be physical, but the emotional betrayal was laid bare. They had built a secret world where I didn't exist, a world where our marriage was the inconvenience. That was the end. The confrontation was painful, full of tears and accusations. She admitted she had developed deep feelings for him, that she felt a connection she hadn't felt in years. She never physically crossed the line. She swore, but in my heart, the line had been crossed long ago. The trust, the very foundation of our marriage, was shattered. We decided to separate. The silence in our house was deafening after she left. It was the sound of an ending, the final note in a song I thought would last forever. Navigating the aftermath has been one of the hardest things I've ever done. Rebuilding your sense of self after a betrayal like that is a long journey. You question everything. Was I not enough? What did I do wrong? But with time and support from friends, I've started to heal. I've learned that you can't control someone else's choices, but you can control how you respond. It's a painful lesson, but it's one that has made me stronger. If you're going through something similar, know that you're not alone, and it's not your fault. The pain is real, but so is the possibility of healing. Thanks for listening to my story. Please share your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe for more content.